Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Oh my goodness. Hi. Super excited to have you here. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? As I
Good.
am inviting everybody and letting everybody come on in, we will just do a quick overview of how these calls work. Welcome. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm so excited to be spending some time with you. So, the way these calls work is that you just type question in the chat and we will come to you. And whatever you want feedback on, I am here for you. If you would like to just drop your Instagram handle in the chat, that's totally acceptable. If you have a specific gallery you'd like feedback on, or of course, any specific question as you are working through the course or coming back to the course for some of you, whatever it is, I got you, and we are here for you. So let's kick off. Want to make sure that we have as much time as possible for as many questions as possible. So just go ahead and type question in the chat if you want to um, have some feedback, and we will get rolling. All right, Ronald, looks like you're first, my friend. Talk to me. Let's do this.
Okay, so I've been trying to apply what I've been learning. So this was an outdoor, Central California blossom shoot.
Cool.
I had two little boys, and so definitely wild ones, but this is a family I've done multiple times. I've known her since I was little, so I was able to kind of really be creative and slow down. And
Cool.
I kind of want to see, I know Instagram's important because that's what people see first, but I also want my clients to love their images. So I would love kind of feedback on what I deliver and make sure I'm getting a good variety and things.
Okay. Yes, I love that one of your central goals is variety because that is so key. The by far one of the things that I see most from um, photographers is like a gallery that just looks all the same. And it's all pretty, but it looks the same. So I'm glad that you're trying to get some variety. With I like that you're getting in close and getting in on details. For this hands shot, I feel like I love where you're going, but it isn't quite as successful for me. When we see the back of a man's hand, it doesn't look as, or like a side angle of a hand, it doesn't look as manly. This was literally what I was thinking about when I was falling asleep last night. I was like, I want to get a book about the language of like classical hands and, like the Michelangelo and like how there's a whole poetry to hands, right? So when we see like the wrist of a woman, so I love that you're doing that. I would have loved to see like the man hand. This is so funny. We're coming in hot. It's 11:04. We're talking about man hands. I would love to have seen his hand more like this, more spread. And just as a general principle, with men, we want to broaden and expand, and with women, we want to contract and curve and angle. And so, women curves, feminine curves, men angles, strength. And that's, of course, subscribing to more typical gender roles. So if you want to play with that, be my guest. But that's what I think could have made that a little more successful.
Okay.
So yeah, again, I love that you're doing some details. I think some of these details just need a little finessing. So like him with this gorgeous profile, we've cut off his ear. And so my eye goes straight here and it's also a point of contrast color wise. And so I would probably just cut off his ear fully, crop it in a little bit more so that we get that full profile. These like upside down ones are so good. I would encourage mom and dad to get their heads in closer as they're tackling and tickling here. So you can have them in, that's great, but like as they're going, I just shout over the top of them, mom and dad, just lean in, just like lay on top of them. Oh yeah, it's so good, it's so good. Like don't try to do it again, just yell over the top of them as this chaos is happening and add on top of it.
Okay.
This is everything. I love this hair. It's so gorgeous. So Love it. When we're posing a mom like this, when you're doing like a head leaning back, you got to be careful that you don't get, um, I try not to do it entirely profile as we've done here, because then you don't get a sense of her body. You just get, to me, it's more flattering at a 45 degree than a 90 degree, unless you're doing an entire profile, and you're being very intentional about that. The other thing that we got to be careful about when she's leaning her head back is that you get a lot of neck and jaw and not as much of face and eyes. And so it works a lot better when you're doing like, you want that feeling of like she's looking up to the sky and she's just loving this cherry blossom moment, or I don't know what kind of blossoms these are, but blossom moment.
Close enough.
Yeah, whatever. I'm filling all the details. It works a little bit better if you have her tilt her head a tad bit down. So like right now on camera, you see both my eyes and my face, but you can still get that feeling and that sense, as opposed to this way. Then you see how much less flattering that is to me when you just see like so much neck, and it's impossible to get a neck looking gorgeous, in my opinion, if it's so far back. So if it's so far back, I want to see a little bit more of the face. It's just these little tiny tweaks that are going to really help, I feel.
That's what I want.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm gonna just go quickly back through this. You've done a great job like getting motion and them in motion. I can really feel motion lends emotion. Guys, I've said that so many times, but I'll say it a million more times. And I would love, like, keep going with that. You've gotten so much variety with that motion, and I think that's a growth that I've seen from you over the past few months. Like, I feel like that's new for you to really have embraced that level of motion, and so I applaud you on that. I would then just challenge you to make some of these like smaller tweaks. So like this gap between their heads here.
I know, and I had them redo it and move their head in, but then the little boys' feet weren't in the right position. So when I pulled through, I kept
here.
I liked. No, it was when I had deleted because it was a digital.
Got it.
But their feet, like both of them had like their right foot up and their left foot was down. And I really wanted their toes. And so
okay.
I kept this one because I could see all four of their feet rather than the mom and dad's head. But I did notice that even in the moment that I wanted their heads closer. So I had them redo it. But
yeah. And that's totally fine. Like redoing it, and you're not going to get every single one every single time.
Right.
But now you know when you set them up that you're not going to lay them down right next to each other that way, that you need to have mom. I would actually have mom's body angled slightly the other way. So keep your head close to dad, but we've got shoulders in the way. Like when we lay down next to a significant other, your shoulders are always going to create a gap in your heads.
Right.
And so we can remedy that by squishing our heads together. But I think more interesting and just sexier is a woman laying here, her head this way, but her legs sort of going this opposite to the right, if that makes sense. Instead of heads and then both pointed the same way. Whenever you want something to look more natural and less posed, you have to vary the body story. So right now, mom and dad's body stories are exactly the same. Whereas right here, you've given us such a good variety of body stories. And that's why this one is so successful, because we have dad on the ground and he's laying down and mom's sitting up. And then this kid is like flopping over, and it's so delicious and delightful. The only thing that I'm wondering is why we're shooting at like what looks to me like high noon.
It was. Well, no, it was 10.
Well, yeah, but it's really, really bright out here.
Yeah.
And so you're just a little bit more limited in the angles that you can play with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm all for that, like play with that. But if you pointed this the other way towards the blossoms too, you would have gotten them backlit like you did in the majority of the gallery, and not had like just a bunch of tree branches in the back. Like this photo alone doesn't look so to me, I would be like, why are they shooting there? There's no blossoms, you know?
Mhm.
So if you're going to shoot in a location like this, where the hero of the location is the blossoms, then you're probably going to be limiting yourself to, you know, this type of angle, and you're going to have to create variety with a lot of your posing rather than with your angles. Because like all these are so good, I just want them turned so that they're fully backlit. Is that making sense?
Yep, it does.
Okay. And then again with like a toes moment, this is so sweet, but I sort of want, if it's going to be a toes moment, we have so much other stuff visually that's competing with that, like her dress, the print, the jacket, the different clothes. So if I was shooting this, I would probably make this more about like her holding him. And so turn it landscape and get like the bum and the legs and the toes all together versus just the toes. If you want just the toes, I would try to have her hold him up so that you get the background being the cherry blossoms, and you get like a cleaner backdrop for just this is a toes picture. Does that make sense?
Because she was actually nursing at that one.
Oh,
Would you
okay.
have done landscape? Would you have kept the bum and the dress, or would you have cut off and done more of the dirt and the blossoms with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, either one. Just play around with it. Nursing is a great time to just like walk all the way around
Okay.
and see what angles you like.
Okay.
I always like a down from above type of photo with nursing, but I know with like the bigger nursing kids, sometimes it doesn't last as long. But
yeah, it was quick.
Yeah. But if you can just know for next time, like, okay, I want to do like I'll just be standing from above, or I'll get like around this other side. But like overall, this is like I feel like this is so much progress and growth for you. Do you feel that way?
I do. I really do.
Yay.
I'm excited.
Applause, my friend.
Can I ask you one more quick question?
Yes, please do.
One thing that I will spend hours and hours and hours upon is making sure my edits are consistent from session to session. And something I love about film photographers is that they don't always, their edits aren't always consistent. So like I may have one super contrasty, but then all of a sudden you're backlit, so there's not as much contrast. And it's still a beautiful photo, but it might be more warm, or it might be, and I will spend, it'll drive me crazy because that one picture might not be as contrasty or whatever. So how do you like overall kind of keep like, okay, this one was just a warmer session, or that their skin was just a little more pink, or like how do you kind of navigate that mentally when you edit or
I feel like I'm the worst possible person to ask about this because I just don't care.
Okay.
I don't care that much. And so if you care, then like I want you to own that and just be like, it really matters to me that my tones are consistent across my sessions. And then in that case, you might have some anchor images. I would suggest anchor images for like, okay, this is backlit at noon, or this is like a, this is an indoor backlit anchor image. This is indoor front window light anchor image of how you want the tones to be. And then, work your editing accordingly and check the two against one another. But I just tend to fall in love with what I get back, and I don't change it too much in terms of the tones, especially because the light is going to dictate so much of that, and I'm so obsessed with like flare and all that stuff. So but for you, I do think it is more important, like with the style that you have that is more less focused on like a color of a light rather than the overall wash and tone of light, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of course. Okay, Haley, let's go to you. Okay, and you wanted some feedback on website as well. Nice.
Either or is totally fine.
Okay. Well, you tell me.
Well, if there's not a huge queue, then let's go for it. But I don't want to take up all of your time either.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Instagram. Did we look at your Instagram before?
Oh, no.
No, we didn't. That was somebody else. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So right away, I know who you are and what you're about. That's great. Like little kids, light and bright, lots of white, airy, all those things. So if you don't like any of those adjectives that I just said, we're in trouble.
I think I'm good with those.
Okay, good. All right. So I am, it's very clear who you are. So we can do some tweaks on who you are, or we can talk about where you want to go and what you feel like is missing.
I think I'm good in establishing who I am. I think what I need more is like showcasing what I'm trying to do other than photos, which is trying to get you tangible,
Mm.
you know. I want to break more into service than just pretty pictures.
Okay.
And I'm having a hard time, I don't just like,
So are we
being
talking albums, prints, that kind of thing?
yeah, like frames and albums. So I think my shift is that it's important, and I'm understanding how important it is
Uh-huh.
to have those things, and I'm just having a hard time like articulating it in a way that is speaking to my clients, I think. No, don't even.
This is where it should be, my friend.
Okay.
Reels. Reels
All
is
right.
where it is at for that. Yeah, because looking at this, like people are gonna have no idea what this is.
Okay.
I know what it is because I'm a photographer, but
Mhm.
like the average person is not gonna have any idea. And reels are so hot right now anyway. You're gonna get the most visibility and the most bang for your buck time-wise doing this on reels and sharing them to your feed. You can have whatever, cover photo you want
Mhm.
for your reels, but I would do this with reels. I would not try to keep doing it with just
Okay.
still photos only. So I mean, it can be anything and everything from like testimonials from clients to your to showcasing the products themselves, to like how to choose. The most helpful thing for you is going to be being helpful for the average person,
Mhm.
because you're like, this is going to be for clients, for them to see what you offer and what they can get their beautiful hands on in terms of your products. But it's also going to be most viral and helpful if it's helpful for the average person. So I look at interior designers who do this really well, like House of Jade Interiors is one. All of their reels are helpful for the average person, and then they have product that you can then buy. So that's going to be your same model. Your reels need to be helpful for the average person. So it's how to choose what photos to frame, how to matte, like how to think about what kind of mattes you should have for frames, for specific prints. Like, do you have rules of thumb that people could latch onto? Like, if it's a close-up shot, should they have more matte around that versus a pulled back shot? Should that just be a beautifully framed canvas, or should it be printed bigger? How big should they print? All these things that you know because you're deep in this world, but the average person has no idea, and so that's why they're like, Costco sounds good.
Yep.
I would love to see a reel from you that's like Costco versus Pro Quality, or like even just like well, I wouldn't go after Artifact Uprising personally, but you're like the idea is that the average person is like, Artifact Uprising looks great, I'm in it, because they make it so easy for them. So how can you either, and the 1-2 punch is going to be best here, make it easier for them to know what to order and feel confident ordering that through you, but also number 2, like, see what the difference is. And you can do that somewhat through features and benefits, like with the product itself, but people aren't, this, people are not buying the product. They're buying how that makes them feel, right?
Right.
How does it make them feel to spend X amount of dollars on an album? And think about, passing that down to their children. How does it make them feel to like think about, this is what I would grab if my house was on fire? Like those types of things. It's all about the story that you're going to tell around these products. And so I do think that Reels helpful and storytelling would be the best thing, the best way to go. So I'm even thinking of like, what would you grab if your house was on fire? Reel. And like, flash to like albums and things like that. Or like when people say they can't afford an album, and then you like show like things that they can't afford and like being cheeky like that. You're going to do this in your own vibe and your own style. But I definitely think Reels are the way to go.
Okay. I've been like really dragging my feet on like showing my face. It's not my favorite thing to do. I know I have to do it. So hearing you say it is just more. I have to.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even have to be your face. Like your face needs to be there, sure, but it doesn't have to be the central aspect to the Reels themselves. Like again, look at those interior designers. They're on so House of Jade is one. I'm trying to think of somebody else that I would look at their designers, because they are very they're very environment and product focused. Like they're showing their work. They're not showing their faces necessarily. Their faces are there, but it's not just them like pointing at text necessarily. Gotcha. So it can be like you making a face at the beginning and then showing, shots of all the products and everything like that. Yeah, and experience, and oh my gosh, the world is your oyster. I'm so excited to see what you do with this. This is gonna be freaking bomb. So we can spend a few more minutes. Do you want to do website, or do you want feedback on imagery, or?
I think website would be good because it's still so new and
sweet.
I haven't really gotten any feedback on it.
Let's do it. What's your website?
I think if you can just go through that link there, otherwise it's hcgphotography.com.
Okay. Nice. I dig it. This photo I would change. This one does not seem like your strongest. Were you looking for a landscape?
I don't know. I think when I was doing it, I was just going through quick and plugging in images, especially for the homepage. But now I'm at the point where I'm like refining things a little bit more. So just to hear what you think needs to be tweaked is helpful.
It looks slightly back focused to me. Like it looks like this is focused on lamp. It could be fine, and maybe you just need to sharpen it, but the emotion is not carrying it. And you don't strike me as like an emotion first photographer. You strike me as an aesthetic vibe first photographer. And I mean that in the most like, I don't mean that one is better than the other. I mean that like we need to get a sense of like this classic luxury light and airy photographer that is you. So I would have, let me see if I can look in portfolio and see, do you have other images that come to mind as far as like your like all-time favorite images?
I think I was trying to fit in a horizontal, and I don't shoot horizontal, so that was difficult.
Why? Don't.
Yeah.
Let's choose a portrait anyway, because this tagline can just live on the left side, and then your hero image can live on the right side, and then that will be way easier to read, or vice versa. I would actually love to see it vice versa, because that's more magazine format anyway, where you have just a portrait orientation image on the left side, and then this tagline on the right side.
Okay.
Good thing you asked me for feedback, because I'm like, change everything.
That's fine. Just go for it.
This is great. I would get rid of this line, does it sound familiar?
Okay.
Because it is a little bit, when you just do question after question after question, it makes your reader do all the work.
Mhm.
So I love that these are statements and not questions, but does this sound familiar? I think could just be eliminated.
Okay.
I would wonder if these could be images instead of numbers, because you only have like 3 seconds to get people's attention. So you're going to get it with this tagline and your hero image. But if people are going to scroll down, I don't want them looking at a bunch of text right away. And then, these like detail product images. I want them to see more of your work itself. So I would love to see, like, you definitely have these products front and center. Yes, these are also good, because you've really addressed, they are going to be like, yes, she knows me, she gets me. But this, if you can relate this portrait experience was made for you, I would get rid of that. Just rings a little salesy.
Yeah.
And instead just say something like, I created a portrait experience just for you.
Okay.
Like, I'm so excited to share. Well, don't say I'm so excited. That's not your vibe, but say something about like, this is, I created this portrait experience with you in mind. I dig this. If you give me only photos here, then I can handle a bunch of text and graphics here. If this sounds too good to be true, it's not. I would eliminate that line as well. Like, let this do the selling for you. All of this is going to sell for you. You don't need to, like, ratchet it up that much more. So this, tell me more. Where does this take me? Sweet. Yep. Okay. This is just a lot of text.
Okay.
So I would like to see you break it up with some more images. And I need to see a photo of your face on this page if I'm hiring you from here. Especially if this button is hire Haley, I need to see you. Is this you?
Yep.
It is?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So I need just like, yep, I think a headshot of you there too, looking on brand.
Okay.
Let me see if there's. How's this going with booking all of these?
I think it's going well. I say at the bottom that digitals aren't included, and I think sometimes people are like, wait, what? And then once I get them on their inquiry call, then I go over it in more detail about kind of my pricing structure and how that works.
Okay, so they are gonna if they click hire Haley, this takes them to this contact form that you're then going to call them.
Yes. So eventually I want to do Zoom calls. Right now I'm going through emails and it just doesn't seem quite as personal as I would like it to be. Okay. I would like to.
Why does this need to be eventually? Why can't it be right now?
Because I'm trying to hide my face still.
Hey, you don't have to do Zoom calls. You can just do phone calls. Let's start with a phone call, and then you can graduate to Zoom calls after you do, the sales calls via just the phone. That's going to be a better access point for you. Let's not let perfect be the enemy of done, because right now you're like, it has to be perfect before you start this new Zoom way of doing things. And I just want you to let me know in this client inquiry that I'm going to fill out this form, and then I'm going to get a call from you.
Okay.
Because right now
that sounds like scary to a client, Or is that just like me being like an introvert and it's scary to me?
Yeah, potentially. I would love to, if it's scary for you, let's put that out there, please. Like, hey, if, you know, put this inquiry, like, also I would change this. New client inquiry sounds so boring, and who wants to
Stale.
fill this in? Nobody. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but I just don't.
It's
So,
fine.
you can just put like, let's like schedule a time to chat.
Uh-oh.
Or title happening here. Oh, am I on?
Yeah, it went
Okay.
fuzzy for a second, but it's
Okay.
fine.
We're back. We're back. So you need a little subtitle here that says like fill in, and Haley will reach out to you within 24 business hours or whatever to schedule a 10-minute phone call, and then like in parentheses, if that sounds as scary to you as it does to me, like fellow introvert fist bump or like something cute like that. Yeah, like you are creating a luxury experience, and I'm into that. I love that journey for you. So it's fine that that's what you're doing, but just be aware that every time you ask people to do more stuff, your conversion rate is going to go down. And for you, that's okay, because you want people who are
Right.
the luxury clientele. They want that type of experience. They don't want to be able to just hire you at the click of a button, but you just need to make it clear what that process is for them.
Okay.
Okay, have I given you enough to do?
Yeah.
Fire hosed you enough? I'm excited for you because you know exactly what you need to do. You know that you need to stop hiding your face, but like let's also be a little bit gentle with ourselves and not expect you to go from 0 to 100. Let's just like kind of come in the back door with that.
Yeah.
A little bit. Does that feel good?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Amazing. Who's next? Well, if the other two that are on do not want to go personally,
I'll go.
you can go back. Okay, who said that?
Me, Layla.
Oh, hi, Layla. How's it
Hi.
going?
It's good. It's good. How are you?
Good. I'm great. So excited to have you here. What can I help with?
Well, this is my first time. Missed the last one.
Yay.
So
That's
I
okay.
figure,
Recordings are there for you whenever.
yeah. So maybe go through Instagram.
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
really sure what's the best.
Yeah, that's great.
So my Instagram is the Studio 1111, all numbers.
Okay, I'm gonna have to type it in 1 second. Okay, I got all the ones in there. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so are we looking for feedback on work? Because now I know who you are. Hi, Layla.
Hi.
Are you looking for feedback on work, or is something else brewing for you that you want to talk about?
Honestly, I don't even know. Really, like any feedback would be good. Yes, like feedback on work and imagery, that sounds great. I'm in the process right now of doing my website. I'm having somebody build it because I built the one that's there now. It's embarrassing. Like I built it myself, like I coded it myself, and I'm not a coder. It's hideous. Anyhow, so I'm having my website built. So any feedback on imagery and all of the above. I haven't finished the website course. I dig it. I dig everything about you.
You're amazing.
I'm like looking forward to finishing it.
Yay. No, it's
yeah.
okay. I'm so glad you're here. You don't have to have it finished. Whatever. That's great. Okay. So very quickly, I see that we are like about emotion. So here it's like, oh, gut punch, yes. Your face, whenever I see your face, I'm like, that energy, I want more of that. People want more of that. This one here this one here with her mouth wide open, giggling, laughing. Right here we have, is this a real dog? Oh my gosh.
It's a real dog, and he really did, like, he just wants in on all the action. I did not post that.
I love it. And here, like, we have, so you have these images that are so emotional, gut punch, and then you hit me with this. And I'm like, who is this person? Like, she does smiling cute pictures. Like, it seems a little bit off to me. Like,
Okay.
I've met you for like 2 minutes at this point, but we actually do make assumptions about people in the first like milliseconds that we meet them. So if you don't want to go this direction, like, that's totally fine. But from your energy here, the energy that I see from these photos that are so emotional, a huge part of me wants to be like, scrap everything else, cut everything else, and just give me gut punch emotional every single time and get rid of this. And these other ones that don't seem to fit, like this one. Like, they're so pretty, and so well done. Like, these others are very well done. But I want to see emotion and like you getting up in people's spaces with your energy and like the alchemy that would result from that. So how does that feel?
It feels good. By the way, lay it on me. I am not sensitive at all, especially when it comes to business stuff. So I want to hear everything, and I'm not going to be sad about it. You know, I think the most growth comes from that, actually. So yes, I agree with you. I think sometimes I just try to find fillers just to be able to post every day.
Sure.
I really love the dog picture because to me it was a moment where like the dog.
Oh no, I was saying that was a yes.
Oh, I was thinking
one.
that you were saying it's a no because they're looking and it's too posy.
Oh, okay. I was talking about this dog picture that I was saying.
Oh, yes. Okay, so that one up there, I really liked it because the dog like licked the baby, but I guess you can't really see it. It's like a small square, and I get it. They're all looking. So I get that. I'll definitely, yeah, I get it. I guess that when I post, I have to ask myself, is this in line with my emo brand?
Yes. So
is this emo enough?
Yeah.
And you know what? And part of the problem too is I have a different audience and I have multiple Instagram accounts and I can't keep up with it. So sometimes, like when you see the images of the girl on the piano or the girl that's just posed with the flower, that's my senior brand. And every now and then I will trickle some of those images in there just to get people hyped or to bring them over to the other site that is not doing anything, just sitting there.
So yeah, I think you just need to make a decision then on that. Like, is this all things Studio 1111, or is this like a emotional families page?
Okay, I already know the answer. It's an emotional families page.
Okay, then sweet. So let's just get rid of everything else in my view. Because the more you narrow in on what you want to show us, the more we're just going to be like eating out of your hand. Like, I want this. But the more you give me this and then this, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to get. Because if I'm hiring you and I want this, but I get this,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, confused people don't buy. And I know that you have a very successful business, like you have built it. So it's like things are working for you, but I'm more concerned with where you want to go next and who you want to be moving forward. Like, so if we're doing emotional families, we have to get rid of everything else. And I don't say that lightly because I know it's probably going to be a little painful.
No, it's not at all painful. I'm going to do it right now, actually.
Okay, well,
I'm getting rid of all those photos. So anything that's not emo and that's not family or kiddo is gone.
Okay, I love this so much right now. It's beautiful. I love the images of you sprinkled in because again, like your energy is so fire and I think people are really responding to that. I love this. I think this is fabulous. Um, so something like this I would keep as a middle ground because it's emotional, even though like we're fancy and we're dressed up.
Mhm.
That can stay in my view.
Okay.
So you know what to do here. Anything else
Mhm.
you want feedback on as far as like Instagram or something else?
I guess Instagram now. I'll work on what we talked about just there. I guess my question right now is I'm going through something really intense personally. My mom is sick,
Oh,
and so I'm finding it really hard to like do anything really.
yeah,
It's really hard to get on the call today.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
not normally like that. I'm normally like all
yes.
about it. Like,
Mhm.
guys, like I'm on stories, I'm talking, I'm this and that. I have big stuff coming up. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do you do this
Yeah,
when your other part of your life is like
totally, totally.
hard stuff is happening? Like any
100%,
words on that?
100%. Yes, 100%. I have words on that. And first of all, just thank you for showing up with us. And I'm so sorry. And that's really, really hard. So the first thing I would ask is what's essential here? And I would ask yourself that every day. What's essential today? What do I absolutely have to get done? And then ask yourself, like, is there anything that feels maybe a little fun to work on? So I don't know how your business is set up right now in terms of like what you have to do and what you have to be there for versus what you're doing just because you want to or you want to build your business or you have upcoming projects. But I would not be afraid to cut anything that's upcoming that you could potentially cut. So that's going
Okay.
to be very, individual to you and what you have set up currently. But I would also ask yourself too, like how you can let this be easy. If you are like, okay, I really just don't, it's really hard to do anything right now, but I still need some money. How can you let that be easy? The easiest way is to send an email. Do you have an email list?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, if you just still need money, what can you send to that email list? If you have any sort of, um, do you have any sort of like online course, presets, anything that's of that nature?
No, all of
Okay.
my money making is in person, the hard
Ah,
way.
okay. In
But
person.
that's next on my goals list is, a course or something like that, some passive income or semi-passive.
Okay. So I would think about this now. I wouldn't wait. And
Okay.
it might seem counterintuitive because you're like, I just told you to cut all your unnecessary projects. But this could be very easy. It could be very easy. And the way that it would be easy is if you, I'm sure you probably already have an idea for your course or some sort of like mentoring that you would want to do. For you, are you teaching other photographers right now, or am
No.
I wrong on that? Okay, so do you have an idea about what your course or your thing would be?
Well, I'm really good at sales. I'm really good at like
Yeah,
money, numbers, sales, all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that's one option. I really love working with women, female entrepreneurs. So that's something that I thought about doing, like in different disciplines too, not just photography. Um, I have a lot of expenses. I just opened like a giant studio. I love it. It's my dream and it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
like right now I'm like, okay, I need to meet those quarterly
Yeah.
goals. And I'm like, I don't want to do anything. So
Okay.
um
So, yep, let's let
so
this be easy. Send an email out that is like, hey, here, talk about your numbers and like, especially if you have a transformation story about how you used to be making X, but now you're making Y, and how you'd love to help female entrepreneurs do the same. Send out that email that says just reply interested if you're interested.
okay,
Um,
my problem with that is my followers are like, I have like 2 photographers that follow me.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't have to be like you just said, you want to work with female entrepreneurs of all disciplines.
Oh,
So
that's true.
you need to get clear on whether this would be, in my mind, this is group sales coaching, like group coaching that's with it to help people grow their businesses, grow their sales. So if you have like, let's get clear on whether it's for new entrepreneurs or like people who haven't started yet or people who are already going but need help with their sales.
Mhm.
And can you create something that's just like this? A monthly mentoring call that's with you, group call, where you maybe have some teaching at the beginning. Maybe it's a little more formal, where you have some teaching aspects, and then it's a question answer as well. Um, and it could be a low price point to start because if you your credibility is your history and what you have created with your business. So it could like spend some time thinking about that. Maybe it is numbers, but maybe it's also like, is it photographers who want to open their own studio? And maybe you're too fresh at that to feel like you want to teach that, but you have all of this, or like your average sale. Am I remembering right that you have like a higher average sale? Um, and so like teaching other people how to do that. Maybe it's the um, maybe it's idea to income, like taking their idea and helping them start the business. I mean, I don't know exactly what it's going to be for you, but if it's the model of group coaching with you, just put and you don't what am I saying? Just don't even scrap all of that. Just put out a little Google Doc that is like, what are you most struggling with? And like what would be the dream scenario for you in your business? So share that transformation story about how you used to be making X, now you're making Y. You used to have an average sale of B, now you're making A. Or just whatever transformation you want to highlight that you feel like you could help other people with in terms of sales, marketing, whatever it is. Then give them that Google Doc form that says like, would you be interested in some help with sales from me? Fill in this 3-question survey. What are you most struggling with? How could I help? What would be so exciting if you were able to make it happen in terms of sales in 6 months to a year?
Okay.
Then that will give you a sense of what result they're looking for. And once you know what result they're looking for, you'll know if you're able to provide them that result. And if you're able to provide them that result, we're off to the races. It doesn't really matter what format it is. It doesn't have to be like this giant pre-recorded course, whatever. It can just be you showing up on Zoom with them once a month, maybe teaching, but more so just supporting them step by step through whatever process they need to go through to get that result that they've said they wanted and that you can help them create.
Okay, quick question. I mean, I don't know if this is quick, but it's a question. How do I, okay, if I wanted to hone in on photographers because I feel like that's what I know right now, how do I build that following or email list, or how do I garner that so that I can pitch it to them?
I would do reels. Reels are so good for visibility right now, you guys. So if you're wanting to grow an audience, reels are the way to go. I mean, the algorithm is just favoring those so hard. So it would be like you dancing around talking about, I used to make X, now I make Y, or I used to suck at sales, now I rock at sales, and here's like, 3 ways that I now rock at sales. And then you need to have a link to your email list in your bio, your Instagram bio. And then to your current email list, or is your current email list mostly clients then?
Yeah.
So that's great. That's so great. So I would have, I would have an opt-in then for other photographers that's separate so that you're not blasting everybody and their dog with photography sales stuff if they're not interested in that.
Yeah.
But because you do already have that client base, like I'm sure there's a portion of your clients that also are interested in becoming photographers or are interested in business or whatever. So it's not a bad idea to have some sort of opt-in for them. Like, hey, thanks for being, my VIPs that have been with me since however long. I am creating something brand new. You know me as your photographer, but I'm creating something brand new. I'm really excited about it. Opt in here to be the first to know. And I mean, in a dream world, you would have a freebie on that end of the opt-in where they can get a little download about like 5 ways to stop feeling salesy or whatever the opt-in is. And so that then you're only emailing whoever has opted in for that freebie. So you know that they're interested in this versus just general clients.
Right.
So, but you can do it without the freebie is what I'm saying, because you just told me you don't want to do anything and I'm giving you like 500 things to do. The only thing to really focus on to do is starting to have lanes where you're sharing about this sales aspect of things, and then just sharing like regular client work and something that is for clients. Up to this point, you haven't shared anything that is for photographers. And so we need to start like creating a lane for that. But it really is just that opt-in, that freebie, and then putting that out to your current email list so that they can opt in for that as well. And then as you keep sending emails both to your full list, even when you send emails to your full list, you can just put a little PS, like, if you're interested in sales as a female entrepreneur or whatever you're going to position this as, I made a cool thing for you. Check it out here. I would put that as a PS to every single email that you send to your big email list for a while, until you are so sick of it you can't handle it, basically. And then I would also share that opt-in on stories as much as you can stomach. Now, when I feel like crap and I can't bring myself to get on stories on video, just post a picture of yourself. It can be old, and type out the text. And you can even get a virtual assistant to do this for you. Posting your email opt-in link as much as possible. I would do it every day if you can.
Okay.
Does that feel good, or did that feel like too many other things to do?
It's a lot of things, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's good advice.
So zero in on just the one thing. The one thing that's most essential is to send an email to your current list that just says like, hey, you know me as your photographer. I've felt pulled to offer something totally new. I'm doing this with my class about dressing.
I know. I'm so excited for you. I love that whole part of your persona, person, whatever it's called. I love it. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, yes. So yeah, I love that.
Thank you. So you just copy and paste from that email, boo. Like, I just did it with that email. You know me.
Are you a copywriter, or are you just like an incredible writer?
I love writing, but I have studied copywriting as well. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So just take it. Feel free to take it from my email. You're gonna make it your own. It's great.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, and best of luck. I know it's really hard to keep going when you have a rough personal thing going. So yeah. But I'm going to advocate dressing too, man.
I know.
Getting dressed and getting ready.
I'm telling you, this is like the first day that I got on a Zoom without, like, I'm literally in my in-laws' bedroom, and I'm
not saying you need to get dressed. I'm not saying like, hey, girl.
No, but I get it. I really wanted to show up, and then I was like, well, it's either going to be this or nothing. So
no,
here we go, girls. Speed it up.
So glad you're here.
Thank you.
But seriously. Yeah, Carly said she's feeling the same way. You're not alone. Yeah, we deal with so much, and there is so much, like, personally, worldwide, it's a lot. And whatever we have to do to get ourselves to be able to feel like we can do our work, lift where we stand, is so well spent. So thank you for being here, Leila. Carly, do you have a question that I can help you with, or anybody else want to jump back in for the last few minutes that we have together?
If you could go back and
Yeah.
tell your old something like now, or something maybe like you wanted to try that you took so long to try, like, is there anything like that that you?
I would have told myself to get into film sooner and better and not. I had the Canon QL17, which is a rangefinder camera. It was so freaking hard to focus. I thought I was a terrible photographer. It turns out it was just a really hard camera. So I wish I would have given up on that sooner. I wish I would have let things be easier and not perfectionized everything, and like thought that I had to have the perfect website or the perfect brand or the perfect whatever to like put things out or raise my prices. I don't know. I think, yeah, those things are what stands out to me as far as what I wish I would have done sooner.
I can relate.
I wish I would have hired more experts and more people to help and support me sooner.
So what finally changed? Like, what did you, like, how did you finally say, I'm just going to do this, or I'm not going to care so much about being perfect, then I'm just going to.
Yeah, it's like a cycle to a chicken or the egg moment where like I would do something and it wouldn't be perfect and it would still work and it would still go. And then I would be like, okay, I guess I don't have to perfectionize this thing. I hired mentors that told me like, stop, like just go. And walk me through like, just put out the Google Doc. Don't think you need to make a whole website. Don't pre-record the whole course. Just like put things out first before they're done. Yeah, so mentors is a huge part, and like groups like this and being in community with other people who were really doing things messy, and that gave me permission to do it messy too. I'm trying to think if I can offer like anything more concrete. Is there something that you Rana, know that you sort of need or want to do, but you've been like waiting to do it?
I just want to be more, I'm not a neutrals girl. I mean, look, this is my house behind me. I love color.
Oh, let me see that in your work, girl.
I love, but everyone wants the neutrals, and I'm tired of it. I'm not a neutrals girl. I am not it. And so I want to pull that out, and I want to bring that out in people. And so, but it's also afraid of like them showing up then in all matching white shirts or all matching navy and yellow, or you know what I mean? So I want to play more with lights. I want to play more. I have somebody who's making me mini stained glass prism things. I don't want to play with like pulling. I don't know. I just want to try some of this stuff, but I'm really nervous and scared.
What's stopping you from trying it on you have kids, yeah?
I do.
What's stopping you from trying it on them?
I don't know. I don't really have.
That's step one. Step one. Try it in a the lowest stakes scenario first.
But again, it's the perfect. So my house is kind of more of a darker house. My backyard is not a backyard at all. You know what I mean? So then it's that, well, I don't have the right location, or I don't have the right, it goes back to the perfect.
Yep. So you just told me what you want is color. So can you create color in your house or your backyard? Yes, you can. So let's brainstorm some ways that you could do that. Is it a colored blanket that you're going to lay down on your little patch of grass or concrete that you have in the backyard? Or like, I was even just thinking about like, I want to do something with colored sheets. Can you get some colored sheets for a bed that has a window near it?
Yeah.
This is not rhetorical.
No, yeah. No, you're.
What can we do? We're going to get you one concrete idea that you can try in your home with your kids.
Okay.
So did any of those feel like the right thing? Or
well, I have tons of color in my house, and I mean, I have colorful pillows right by a window, and so it's just a matter of getting them in there and doing something with them, I guess.
Okay, so did I just hear that you actually have everything you need right now?
Pillow fight, colorful pillow fight.
I'll do this, right? Or like, it's not the right location, it's not the right whatever, it's not the right anything, but you have your camera right there with you. You have your kids right there with you. You got your colorful pillows. You don't need to wait for your stained glass thing. You can get a leaf and put it in, like a petal of a flower, put it in front of your camera. I do that all the time. You can I get like little prisms off Amazon. I have to link to the one that like rainbow prisms if you want to play with that, or even just gels, like colored gels. You can do that. But is there a reason why you couldn't do it today?
No.
Yes! Then do it today. I love it so much. Okay, please tell us how it goes in the group or somewhere
Who's
else.
my last one?
Okay, then in the
last
group, tell us how it goes.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
so excited for you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you all so much for being with
you.
us today. And for this, if I was talking too much too fast and you couldn't write things down that you wanted to get, this recording will be up in your Thinkific course. You have your own Thinkific course for your recordings in your Thinkific portal, so it will be up there within 24 hours. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Bye.